Well, Kern County is trying desperately to avoid being kicked backwards into the purple tier while coronavirus cases rise all across the nation and the state. Joining us this morning, talking more about the importance of getting tested, Tamsi, President and CEO of the Kern County Hispanic Chamber of Commerce, as well as co-founder of the Latino COVID-19 Task Force. Thanks for joining us this morning.
Thank you for having me, Mike.
Dave, let's begin with what has been the biggest challenge in getting a lot of the Hispanic community tested in some of our outlying areas.
Well, Mike, a lot of our Latinos here in Kern County are essential workers. So it is very difficult to either take the time or get the time off of work to go and get tested. So what we have been doing is we've been going around the rural areas of Kern County, or what we call CTs. And there's 35 of them in Kern County. And so we are going to the different locations where it is very accessible for folks to test, Latinos in particular, but not just Latinos, everyone in general in our community.
The original numbers at the beginning of this, when they were being put out by the county health department, showed a large number of Latino residents that had tested positive for the COVID-19. They changed the demographics a little bit, so it was harder to track. Do you still see a high number out there, or is it starting to come down?
No, absolutely not. In August, when we created the Latino Task Force, we saw the need because we saw the increase. And so we were about 11 to 12,000 of Latinos that had COVID. And now up to date, we're over almost 21,000 people, 21,000 Hispanics have COVID, have been diagnosed with COVID-19. So the spike is still there within the Latino community, but with the assistance with and working with Kern County Public Health and with the Latino Task Force, we're pushing more testing and more outreach into these most vulnerable areas in Kern County, and making sure that we bring these testing mobile units forward. And we also provide PPE every time that we're out at a park, say in Arvin, or we're in Lamont, Delano, whatever area that we're at. So we're trying to provide PPE and masks, etc., to these folks.
Now, you were in Shafter yesterday. You're at the Greenfield Family Resource Center today, and we're showing that graphic on our screen right now. Then, of course, you'll be at Vallarta Supermarket, I believe, in Delano over the weekend, correct? Saturday and Sunday?
Correct, Mike. So today we are at Greenfield Family Resource Center, 5400 Monitor Street, Bakersfield 92307. And then we are in Vallarta this weekend in Delano. On Saturday, we'll be on Main Street. So that's 1820 Main Street. And then there is another Vallarta in Delano that we will be at 1840 Cecil Avenue. And so we hope to capture lots of folks who may have never been tested. We're coming to them and we're saying, these are areas where you're going to a grocery store and you feel comfortable going to a grocery store. You feel comfortable with the Kern County Public Health nurses that are there testing. And we want to make sure that folks feel comfortable. There's a lot of misperception about testing, Mike, and we want to really make sure that we are in the second tier right now, but that doesn't mean necessarily next week that we won't go back to purple. And I just wanted to mention that everybody is encouraged to test, not only Latinos, but of all ethnicities and all backgrounds. And we want to make sure that of all ages. I think yesterday we tested an 18-month baby, and anybody can get this virus. So it's just very detrimental and very important that we get tested. We want to have a great Thanksgiving and a great Christmas and holiday with our families.
Great. Tamsi, Latino COVID-19 Task Force, thank you for your time this morning. We appreciate it.
Thank you, Mike.